Alright, let's go. 3, 2, 1, boom. Hey. What? Oh. Hello. Oh. Hey. Welcome. So I promised a review of My Voice by Taeyeon, that album, and what I did is I recorded an 18-minute video, and the audio didn't work. For the first time since I started using this microphone, the audio did not record properly. So, that's cool. So I figured, I'd try something different. So first I was thinking, I don't want to just say the same thing and then try to act enthusiastic about it again, be like, say the same exact things about songs. So I was like, I'll do a top 5 video, because I really enjoyed the top 10 K-pop video I did, and that would be pretty cool, I guess. That would be something different, because the first time I recorded it, I just basically said a couple things about each song. I wasn't actually a big fan of how that review turned out anyway, so maybe this is a blessing in disguise, and now we've got this really good product right here. Cheers to all of you who waited, and you're here for it, because it's here. Alright, let me join in with you. But upon further, when I actually recorded the video, or no, I didn't record a video. Well, okay. Talking about a different thing now. Top 5, I was thinking of doing that, and then when I started making the list, I thought it would be real easy, just throw out 5 names and it'll be real easy. But then I was feeling bad about leaving out anyone's. And then it was ending up with honorable mentions, like, it was 5 and then 3 honorable mentions, so I was like, no, I'll just do my favorites. I'll just talk about my favorites, and it'll be in no particular order. I'll mention which one's my favorite. I'll probably say that one at the end. But other than that, no real particular order. These are just some of my favorites I wanted to talk about. Overall, I will say right now, I love the album. Not many complaints for me. I'd say there were none of the songs that I really hated. Even Make Me Love You, which is probably the technically worst song on the album, and one that seems to be the least favorite of a lot of fans from the comments I've seen and all that. Even that one, which the reason it's not a really good song is because there's no progression. There's no evolution throughout the song. It's just kind of more of the same. And a great song should have a spike, a real good climax moment in there, and do a little bit of changes here and there. Keep the chorus the same, whatever you want to do, but you got some changes, keep it interesting. That one really is more or less the same the whole time. There's no big moments. But even that I enjoy, because it's Taeyeon, she's got a great voice, and I still think it's a nice little song. Just not anything to write home about. I wouldn't write home about it. I've wasted a lot of time, and I haven't named one song that I like particularly yet. I just want to say that the album's great, and I think it's a really meaty album in that you get a lot of stuff with it. Obviously, it's a real long album. I'll also say that this is the first K-pop album, period, that I've ever purchased myself. I know this is her first album, but she's also had 2 mini albums, so if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on those, maybe I could do reviews on those in the future when I get them, which are I and Y. I believe Y is the name of the second mini album. I'm not sure, because I know it's the name of one of the songs, but I don't know if I can't remember if that's the album name or not. With those 2, I think it would be kind of cool. I could do some reactions in there too, reacting to just the songs, because other than the ones I've seen the music videos of, I haven't heard any of those yet, so that would be interesting. And without further ado, let's begin. What are we, 5 minutes? 5 minutes in. Alright. Here we go. I brought my notepad. Here's what... Here are the notes I took for the initial review thing. I mean, it seems like a lot, but it's really just a couple sentences per song. Alright, so first I wanted to talk about Fire. Fire's really fire. Here, let's take a quick listen. Oh, that's not the right song. That's that. BTS and Taeyeon have a song with the same title now, so that's a thing. Also, there are like so many songs that are like Fire and Fine. I always see them pop up in the song, and I'm like, I always confuse the two as if one of them's playing, but then I look closer and I hear it, and I'm like, oh, that's not that song. And then there's also Feel So Fine, so they really mixed them all in there, huh? I really love hearing this side of Taeyeon, and you do hear this a couple of times in the album where it's just the passion, that real passion in her voice. It's just that oomph.
I feel so alone. You're the fire. 다가가면 내 맘까지 삼켜가. 하얗게 번져 까맣게 태워. 흐린 연기만 남아. You're the fire.
I mentioned this in my review previously, that oomph is definitely a thing I've learned to love from Taeyeon, just listening to her in this album especially. The oomph, that's what I love. And a lot of these songs I'm going to mention have that oomph. Except for that Lonely Night, I would actually say, this is one of my favorites, the more laid-back songs, in that I'd say most of the album is kind of comprised of laid-back songs, and I think that's kind of a technique a lot of people do when they're making albums. They have a lot of kind of easier to perform songs, I guess, so they're not always performing these over-the-top, excruciating performances wherever they go. And they're really nice, too. In this album, I wasn't disappointed. Most of the songs I really liked, even the slowed-down ones. I know I'm a basic boy in that I like upbeat songs. It's one thing I love. I love the upbeat K-pop songs, but yeah. Lonely Night's nothing crazy, really. There's nothing really awesome, like out of this world moments in there, but I think it's a really pretty song. It's probably the best way to describe it, just pretty. And I would say that for a lot of Taeyeon's songs here in this album.
지워버려 lonely night. 다, 난 괜찮을 거잖아. 널 이제야 잘할 듯해. 더 외롭게 해. 추억 따윈 버리자.
Why didn't I think of that before? Alright, another one I want to mention is Time Lapse. Time Lapse.
모두 지워가는 걸. 하지만 잊으려 하면 눈물이 맺히고 젖은 그 눈물 위로.
Is one, I don't know, it's not as much of a favorite as it used to be for some reason. Like when I first listened to the album, for some reason I really loved this song. I still do, but for some reason it stood out and it was like my favorite for a while. Some other songs have grown on me more since then, and I think it's fallen a little bit in the ranks, but obviously it's still one of my favorites. I really think it's pretty unique and it's got a lot of emotion in it. I think it's really nice. Another song I'd probably describe as pretty. When I first listened to this song, I was like prepared to not like it because it's got that subdued style going on, and I was like, oh, where's this going? Is it gonna and then I liked it. I really liked it. It was nice. Whoops, I dropped my paper. Okay, another slower song. More emotion, just raw voice-based song that I love is I Blame on You, and that's one of the ones that's exclusive to the deluxe version. When I first got this album, I bought the regular one not the deluxe one. I didn't even notice there was a deluxe version because I'm a stupid boy. But just recently, a few days ago, I guess, I got the deluxe version songs, which weren't many. It was like 2, and then there were 2 others that I'd heard already, which were 11, Make Me Love You. But I Blame on You really stood out to me. I was like, wow, okay, I'm really glad I ended up getting this, because it's one of my favorites now. I think it's really, just really powerful, really nice. It's not like over-the-top strain power, but it's just beautiful where you get to hear the power in her voice. And I really love those moments. There are a lot of moments like that in this album. Not too over-the-top, but just, those kind of belting notes that I always say I like. Yeah. Another song, which, it's interesting, even in the review that I did a few days ago, I find myself contradicting myself in there. Because one that I was like, I wasn't as into this just a few days ago. It's Cover Up. I don't know what it is. For some reason I wasn't as impressed, but then when I look at it now, I really appreciate the structure of the song. I think it's really solid. It's got a real funky beat. It's a real good jam, I'd say. And what I thought initially was it's not real that impressive vocally in comparison to some of the other ones. But I've really grown to appreciate it in the last few days, especially. Just the beat obviously is amazing. It adds a lot to the song. There's a really cool build-up in there. The song builds up well in multiple parts. There's this part especially that I love, and I think it's executed so well. It's just a jam. This is just a jam. This is the kind of K-pop song I'm always looking for. It's one that I just could blare in the car and just be rocking out to because I'm so cool. So I'm so cool. Another one is Fine, and I won't talk about Fine too much because I did do a reaction to it. And I was impressed initially with it too, with the reaction. I think I've grown to like it even more. Just hearing audio in general with these kinds of things helps you appreciate it more, because when you're watching a music video, sometimes the video distracts from it. When Taeyeon's in the video, that could happen. Because you're also trying to like figure out what's going on with the video, what different cinematographical decisions were made, and why were they. Then when you listen to the audio, you really get to just sit there and soak it all in. And yeah, that's exactly what I did. I ended up really loving that song, and it's definitely in the very top of my favorites now, which is cool. That means they definitely made a good decision, and I do think they made a good decision in making that one of their first album music videos for her. Like the there's a lot of acoustic-esque style in here. Obviously other instruments come into play, but there's like a prominent acoustic presence in there in a lot of these songs, and I really think it complements her voice well, and it adds a nice style to the album overall. And then there's a lot of variety in there as well, I'd say that for sure. It's a nice varied album where there's different styles in there, from Cover Up to I Blame on You to Fine. So you really got a lot in there. Her voice really got the shine and Fine especially. Okay, another one which I contradicted myself, Feel So Fine. For some reason I didn't think it was a standout before, and now it's one of my favorites. It's another one of those upbeat songs I just really love. It gets me amped up. It's got some oomph in her voice in there, and I love those moments for sure. Alright, last but not least, my favorite on the album is Sweet Love. And I was debating this for a while, but now it's pretty clear, because even when I was doing my top 5, that was never a question. It was always Sweet Love, and then I was rearranging the final 4. But Sweet Love, I love this song. I'd say I think I could say that pretty confidently. I love all the songs they mentioned in this video, but Sweet Love is a special love for me. For me, it's another one where it's a clear case that she's got a lot of oomph in her voice in this song, and I love it. And once it gets into the meat of the song, it gets really good. There's a really nice groove building up in there, and I just really love that song. Okay. And that's it. That's it, guys. I really enjoyed it, obviously. If that wasn't clear, that I hope it is now. If you want to see me talk about or / react to some of the Too Many albums she did or whatever, anything else, if I get my hands on them, then I'll definitely do so. Because as you may or may not know, I'm tracking, kind of documenting my K-pop journey here on this channel. Anything I watch or hear, you're going to hear about. Anything I watch or listen to, you're going to hear about in some capacity here, whether it be a review or a reaction. So, look forward to stuff in the future, I guess. Feel free to keep requesting through the request form, though I have like 90 now, so that's cool. I've been slacking, and that's kind of not the thing you want to slack on when you have 90 things. 90 things I'm slacking on. Let me know what your favorite song was. What were some of your favorites, least favorites? Did you disagree in me liking a song? Because that's kind of messed up. I mean, it's a personal opinion, and it's all positive here. I'm not hating. Is Make Me Love You your favorite song on the album? Let me know. Alright, well, that's it. Thank you. Hard day at work.